Am I overreacting by getting mad that my husband keeps opening my Amazon packages? Background. My husband and I have been married for almost 7 years and have a great relationship for the most part, except that this man will not stop opening up my goddamn Amazon packages. We share an account, but each time I order something I specifically change the recipient name to my own. Our kids do the same thing when they order, but it doesn't matter whose name is on the package, he opens them all. To be fair, this isn't 100% of the time, but it's frequent enough that I've gotten irritated and said something many times over the years. He always acts offended that I'd be annoyed about this, even though there have been several times where he'll open a package that's not for him and either forget to tell the recipient that their item has arrived, or open a package and lose the item. This happened a couple months ago with something our son ordered and it literally still has not been found. I've worked the last 2 days and had a package come both yesterday and today. When I got home from work tonight, I noticed the item that was delivered today was sitting on the counter, unwrapped. It reminded me that I also ordered something that was supposed to arrive yesterday, so I asked about it. He said, "Nothing came for you yesterday, but something came for our daughter," and I put it back in the Amazon package. Both packages clearly had my name. I was pissed and I asked him in a normal volume but irritated voice why he can't just read the name on a package before he opens it. He absolutely lost it and started stomping around the house, slamming doors and saying he doesn't want to be around me when I'm this unpleasant. He went to bed ridiculously early and texted me from upstairs that I never take responsibility for my shit. He means getting mad at him for opening my packages, something he finds to be a completely ridiculous thing to be upset about. So am I overreacting? Would you guys be pissed, or am I being ridiculous for being upset over this? Comment. No, you're not. It's really not a crazy request. The fact he loses your items and is so defensive about being asked to stop is weird. Like, what is the reason? It's not a big ask, and if he's that interested in what you're buying, he can just check the account. To me, it's less about the opening but more apt the fact you asked him not to and he still does. And then proceeds to lose things. It just feels disrespectful, or at least inconsiderate. Comment. Nor. He is very childish and inconsiderate. You need to take steps to stop this for your own sanity. Time to get your own account. If you don't want to go to that extreme, choose to get your packages sent to an Amazon locker. Those are usually inside of Walgreens, or there are specific Amazon locations. If I'm expecting a package and I want to be 100% sure it doesn't end up where it shouldn't, I redirect delivery to a locker. He's obviously not understanding where you're coming from and he's acting like an ass. Comment. My partner of nearly 20 years does this. I barely order anything and he gets things delivered nearly every other day, so he assumes it's all his crap. Usually it is. When he opens something of mine, he says sorry, but in a no biggie kind of way. Take away that it's illegal, it's my shit. I want the endorphins of opening something of mine that I was looking forward to. One time it was a gift for him and totally wrecked the enjoyment of giving it. The response was, "I guess I should be more careful around celebration times." No, you should just be more observant and not open my stuff. He's gotten better, but even my own mother will text to see if she should open a letter that still somehow ends up at my childhood home. Comment. Do you have a nearby Amazon pickup location? Can you send your packages there instead? If he goes out of his way to go get them at that point, then it's pretty clear he's doing it on purpose and you have a bigger issue. However, if it's genuine oafery, the problem should stop. You are not overreacting at all. I had an ex steal important mail to try to control me, so my husband didn't even open my mail for over a year after we got married out of respect for me. I would have lost on your husband long ago. Comment. You buried the lead, hun. You're married to a person who will slam doors and stomp from above around your children and swear at you passive-aggressively through text while you're in the same house. It's a bummer he can't read and hasn't grasped impulse control yet, but you're going to have to work on the stomping, swearing, slamming stuff before you move on to more complicated things like not being the schoolyard bully and hands to yourself. Of course, you should be able to unbox your own goodies and pop your own bubble wrap. You really trust this guy with scissors? Comment. If he can go to work, other people's homes, and not open that which is not his, he can do the same at home. He is choosing to act like an entitled little brat and do what he wants. This isn't about ADHD or any other disability or other ability. This is simply your husband doing what he wants when he wants. Even my 4-year-old granddaughter knows, if it isn't mine, I don't touch without asking first. That sweet little girl is neurodivergent. If a literal toddler can figure it out, a grown man can as well. Nor. Comment. My stepfather has a habit that I've experienced since knowing him since I was 10 years old. He will not believe you can't find something if he thinks it is there. As in, someone asks you to fetch some aspirin, and they think it's in the medicine cabinet. So you go to the medicine cabinet, it's not there. But there will be an enormous fight if you report this, so you tear apart the bathroom in an effort to find the aspirin, because he will swear he just saw it yesterday. You will spend an hour tearing apart this room and a bedroom. No aspirin. You return and tell him this. He doesn't believe you and fight breaks out because he has the freakish need to be right. He finally goes looking for it, can't find it, won't apologize because he swears he saw the aspirin just the other day, but he'll put it on the grocery list. Every single God*MN time. I've experienced this scenario for decades and I'm now a neurotic freak about finding things that people ask for. So much so that sometimes people have to tell me to calm down about it. A few years ago, this happened in regards to butter at their house. The exact circumstances aren't important, but the upshot was that I wound up screaming at him. I'm sure I looked like a lunatic, screaming about how I looked for butter in all the conceivable places. They're just out of it, and for once can he just FCKING realize they're out of something and take my word for it, and oh my god, just F off already, you neurotic freak? He was not prepared for that. I've not entertained his defenses of his behavior since, going so far as to leave his house at the first hint of a similar situation. Sometimes you need to throw an unhinged fit. You are overdue for this, and it really doesn't matter that he doesn't think it's a big deal. It is a very big deal to you, and that's what matters. It sounds like he wants to make sure you're not the boss of him. The next time he pulls this, tell him, dear, we all know your dick is big. It's the best dick, the biggest dick in town. Now that that's settled, stop opening sh*t that doesn't have your name on it. Comment. No, you are not. Depending on where you live, opening someone else's parcel is illegal. He could literally be breaking the law because he's a dick. He's doing it deliberately, losing things deliberately. You have some choices. Stop ordering things to your home. Get a PO box or ask someone if they can be your delivery point. Tell your husband in no uncertain terms that you know he's doing it on purpose and the gaslighting he's doing is starting to border abusive. I'm petty as hell, so I'd order a glitter bomb or something for him to open. Open all his packages. Give him the same energy, and when he complains, ask him why it's okay for him to do it but not you. Comment. Married or not, it's a crime to open someone else's mail or package without permission. His attitude and reaction shows how inconsiderate he is of his family and their feelings. He actually threw a tantrum because he didn't want to accept responsibility that he was in the wrong for doing what he does. He needs to grow up. Even his children are acting more mature than he is in this situation. Also, he needs to replace whatever item he lost that your son had ordered. P.S. You might have to start having your Amazon packages delivered to another address like your work or one of their drop-off sites. Comment. With the exception of Christmas or request BC of gifts coming in, me and hubby do open each other's packages. But most of it is house stuff or stuff for the 3D print business. We tell each other if we did. Like last week, I'm waiting for filament he ordered. Had a print sitting in a pause state for it. So I'm not going to wait until he's back from the chiropractor for him to open it. When he got home, I told him it came. I used the one I needed and put the rest away. It works for us. If it's not a household item or filament, we leave it on the bar and tell each other something came for them. Your request is very reasonable, especially with his habit of losing things. It takes 2 seconds to look at a label. Maybe try making an area in your house for when packages arrive, that they go there. He needs to honor your request of not opening, but if he screws up and opens it, as long as he puts the contents bank in the box and the box in the designated spot, you may be less likely to want to strangle him. Maybe suggest keeping all the boxes unopened until everyone is home and can grab theirs to try breaking this bad habit. Comment. If he didn't have a history of losing the items, or failing to inform the person it was for, I don't think it would be a problem if he opened the packages. With a history of that though, yay, it's a problem. As annoying as it would be, start having your packages sent to an Amazon locker if there is one nearby, or maybe need to set up a PO box to have things shipped to, so that way you can pick up the packages and ensure he doesn't mess up. If he has a problem, just remind him of the times he failed to tell someone about a package, or when he lost packages. I'd probably go with the PO box though, because if it's an Amazon locker he could still have access to that and may try to intercept the packages before you get to the locker simply out of spite. Comment, I don't know where you reside, but where I am you can opt to have your parcels delivered to a parcel locker. That way you can pick your and your kids' parcels up at your leisure. Or is he going to kick up a fuss about that too? Maybe it's not a control thing or wanting to check what you're buying. Maybe he has some compulsion where he finds it impossible to leave a parcel unopened. I'm a bit like that. It kills me, I have to know what's in there. However, I still don't open anything that doesn't have my name on it. I just sit and stare at it pathetically, wishing for X-ray vision, tears of joy. Anyway, opening stuff that's not yours and then going so far as losing it, that's not on, and he's being a tool for getting upset over your reaction. Comment, info. Have you tried to sit down with him when it's not in the moment and discuss this with him? Not when a package is sitting there open, or worse is missing, but when things are quiet and you can discuss it. If so, what has he said? I'm not excusing his behavior at all. I do know as someone with ADHD that there can be a ton of distraction and internal chaos when I'm activated, and a lot of shame when I realize I've gone off the rails and done something impulsive that's caused a problem. If someone talks to me in a calm moment, hey, I'd like to discuss when X happens, I can usually connect with the issue and make a plan that sticks in my brain. Something like that only works if the person is willing to listen, though. Your husband sounds very dug in on this behavior. Whether it's impulsive or deliberately rude doesn't really matter. It needs to stop.